Doing preschool for the first time is hard, whether you are a 4-year-old or a governor. Governor Polis's campaign promise of universal pre-K is now dealing with upset families, frustrated providers, and for the second day in a row, a new lawsuit. This time, it's school districts suing. Here's Marshall Zellinger.
This story on preschool needs to start with some alphabet acronyms that you're about to hear. IEP means Individualized Education Program for students that require special education. SPED means special education. UPK stands for Universal Preschool. And you need to know the number 6. 6 school districts are represented in this room and have sued Democratic Governor Jared Polis and several state education departments over UPK.
We wish this were the rosy picture that the governor portrays it to be.
UPK is in its first year. No-cost half-day preschool for any 4-year-old. It requires families to sign up through a state website called BridgeCare. Using an algorithm, BridgeCare matches a student to a preschool.
To have an algorithm be matching kids completely bypasses what's called the Individualized Education Program, or IEP, process. And that's in federal law.
The lawsuit contends that local school districts, like 27J in Adams, Broomfield, and Weld counties, are put at risk of lawsuits if the state matches a student to a preschool that cannot provide the proper IEP education.
They are getting acceptance letters saying you are placed at this school. We have to go in on the back end and contact families and say, actually, that's not correct. You need to go to a different school because that's where your child's IEP can be implemented.
The lawsuit asks a judge to give the power back to districts to place students instead of a state algorithm.
So it's undoing horrible messaging and miscommunication and misinformation from BridgeCare.
Because of the way the laws are, the school district of the local county has to provide the SPED services regardless of where they're attending for their preschool.
The superintendent of Harrison School District in Colorado Springs said many of the families in her district are the ones who thought they were getting full-day preschool this year until they were told late last month they were only getting half-day funding. The lawsuit also asks a judge to force the state to pay full-day funding this year for those most needy families.
Parents were told if they have at-risk factors, they would qualify for up to 30 hours, which for our district would be most of our students.
When we started doing the math on the funding, we were really concerned that the funding wasn't going to materialize in the way that it was being promised.
Cherry Creek School District is the largest in the lawsuit. It is not offering full-day preschool because the district predicted the math predicament.
We've essentially been ignored.
In this March 14th letter, the director of early childhood was warned by state education associations about breaking the law with special education students. That letter said, quote, if students with disabilities are not identified in a timely fashion, there is the potential for local school districts to be in violation of federal law. At an unrelated preschool event today, Polis said special education will benefit by the number of preschoolers signing up this year.
I think it'll help. The fact that more kids are entering preschool will help identify students with learning needs earlier that might have fallen through the cracks.
We have the rules being set up in a way that keeps school districts from meeting their ethical obligations and their legal obligations.
Control. The state took the control and responsibility of who gets placed where. The local districts in this lawsuit are saying that puts them at most risk of lawsuits with none of the responsibility to prevent that. And the way the system works, Kyle, is parents apply for preschool, they choose several options and then wait to be matched. The lawsuit spells out several districts that say, we are rejecting some of those matches, keeping spots open just in case a special education student comes through later on.
It seems like this is going to become increasingly difficult for the governor to pretend like there's not a problem here. Like, it was fairly easy, no offense, for him to be like, just go away, Marshall, quit making noise about this. Oh, 9,000 parents. Okay, parents, you quit making noise. Oh, you school districts now, like, all of a sudden, and plus the providers that are talking about funding issues with it. There's a lot of people saying like, hey, understand that this is the first time we're doing this, but it's full of holes.
It's the school districts that I think that are like maybe waking people up to this because they're like, we've been doing this the whole time with kindergarten, and when we created half-day or full-day kindergarten, you didn't create a new state department for that. We just did what we normally did. Now you created this kindergarten system, and you created a state department instead of just using what we have always done as experts. And now when the call is coming from inside, it's like, oh, maybe there's something there.
It's always sunny in Polis's view, at least for now. We'll see how long that weather lasts. Marshall, thank you.